Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of the Jam and Cheese Show. Cheese, you're back after a week off, lad.
Yeah, it feels like I've been away for bloody a month, seeing all you boys again, seeing the faces. But back after another loss, you beauty.
I know the one week you win.
Got one win, can't come back here and talk about it.
Oh dear.
But yeah, no, it's been good. Had a great week in the Goldie and in Brisbane. Got to catch up with the family. There's a lot of pranks going on.
Who's the chief prankster?
Well, I reckon you could take a guess.
Jared?
Yeah. He's the one because he starts them all and everyone's just like, yeah, let's do it. And because it's always forwards versus backs, we had like our own hire vans and it was forwards versus backs. And we managed to see the backs coming out of their dinner one night and managed to have enough time to pull over and grab 2 cartons of eggs. And we absolutely flogged the shit out of them. So... yes, there was retaliation, but for legal reasons, I don't want to bring it up.
Fair enough. We'll just leave it there. Also, big shout out. Thanks to everybody that's leaving reviews. Keep them coming. Keep sending them in to our Instagram. And yeah, there's only a couple more days to go, isn't it, Charlie? Yeah, so get them, get our show reviewed wherever you get your podcast. Also, for the other midweek matters, the Rockbusters, you get a t-shirt for that as well. Not too long to enter. That'll be sorted Thursday, I think.
Speaking of reviews, I left my first review for a restaurant 2 days ago. Went to Bangkok Bites, Thai food in Bondi. And it was that good. I went on their page and left a review.
Really?
The review was... Pad See is gorgeous and curry puffs were off their titties.
It must be good to
I felt good doing it. I felt uplifted, felt like I was helping out the community, but it was really good. So Bangkok Bites, go there if you're in Bondi.
I've never left a review.
Yeah, neither have I. That was my first ever review.
Do you review Uber drivers?
No, not at all.
Or give them a rating?
Oh, I reckon when I'm on the piss sometimes if they're real good.
We'll just ignore mine and Cheese's inability to review our podcast if it's positive. Yes. Hey, mate, how are you after that game against Brisbane? Mate, I thought that was like the open exchanges of that game were brutal. Yeah,
it was brutal. That first carry Lindsay took and Paddy and Flegg got into him. I think it was Flegg. Mate, it was a brutal game. And I don't think I was... not ready, but I don't think I was very surprised how good the Broncos were. I've never lost to the Broncos. That was a tough pill to swallow. But you know when you come off the field and go, you've just been well beaten, like that's how I felt. We were beaten by a better side, and I'm actually stoked because I know Paddy and he's the leading that team around. I'm happy, I guess, for them because it's been a rough couple of years for the Broncos and. After playing them, I feel like they're in the right direction to do some good things in the game. Yeah,
I think it was a game Brisbane really needed, that really tough in the middle. That's what's they're gonna face games like that in September, and like I thought they were sensational the way they held their own, and then they just showed enough to get home at the end. But then I was off to Bundaberg on.
How was Bundaberg? I've had a few trial games up in Bundaberg when I was with the Cowboys. Very good city.
Very good place, mate.
Very good city for a Tooheys or two, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Dodgy races, though.
What?
We went to the races.
Oh, I thought you said...
No!
I thought you said lots of races.
No. Dodgy races.
Oh.
So went to the races.
Yeah.
Mate, it's a sand track.
Yeah.
And... it's that dodgy. You can only bet Bundaberg races at the track. They don't upload them onto.
Do they have like a bookie carrying around a bag?
Well, it's that old school style bookie, yeah. A couple of old school bookies in there.
I don't think you'll find there's many non-dodgy races, whether it's Bundaberg or not.
Most of the others, they're like, they'll go around the country and you can bet on them. Like you can bet on them, if you've got race at Morfettsville, for example.
Yeah.
You can bet on them anywhere in the country, but Bundaberg's on a sand track, so they don't allow anyone else to bet unless you're there.
Really?
Yeah. But it was a great couple of days there. Great to see the Bulldogs get a victory. Heart in the mouth stuff towards the end with the Sarko taking that conversion on the sideline.
Feel for him. You feel for him.
But I thought the Dogs might have run away with it. I think Jacob Preston had a break just before, or just into the second half. He couldn't quite find Averillo, but anyway.
Matt Burton ahead of, he could see the future, mate. Hey?
Thinking.
Is that something you took there? Since you're working with him now?
Take early field goal, lads. No, it seemed like a bit strange to go 11-8 up, but yeah.
Do you know what scorigami is?
I do know what scorigami is.
Is that a scorigami, you reckon? 11-8?
It's got to finish 11-8 though, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, but half-time score.
Half-time, probably. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say yes. Yes. But yeah, no, Bundaberg, great town. I enjoy that NRL. Make a point to go to regional towns. It's important. You can see
they go? Tamworth?
Tamworth. Some of it's imposed on us because of the Women's World Cup. But I think they do it every year. Like every year they go to Mudgee.
What was the crowd like? Was it pumping?
Yeah, it was very excited. Yeah, I think it was.
Because Bundaberg is mess. One of the great players of our time, Felice Kavusi.
Yes.
He reps Bundaberg so hard. He actually reps everything. He's a Queenslander, a Tongan, born in New Zealand, raised in Bundaberg. So, yeah. We don't know what he is, the chameleon.
He had another good game, actually. Jeez, that man.
He destroyed that guy's ribs, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember who it was on, but I do know the tackle you're talking about. Like,
you could see him wincing in pain. I've been there.
Yeah, it was brutal. Some funny refereeing decisions this week. What about the referee with the try save for the Roosters?
Yeah, I wasn't happy with him for most part of the game, but that part of the game I was very happy.
And then
I don't know what can they do there. Like, they didn't replay the plays, so like, can they award that try? I've never seen that before. Never.
No, neither have I.
Neither.
You know what?
And Tyson Smoothy, he's not scoring many tries in his career.
I know.
He has not scored many tries in his career, and you've just robbed him of one.
Well, if he was on any time, you'd be fuming.
I feel like the betting companies, surely they paid that.
Yeah,
out.
you've got Ladbrokes. If you're listening, I think you've got it. Anyone that's got Tyson Smoothy, anytime try score, you've got to pay that back. But even the young lad, the young back row for the Dragons, who's played a handful of games, he got one stolen off him.
Yeah.
And the bunker's wording was...
He's got over the line and the ball's gone
and the ball's down.
But we'll support the referee's decision. What's his name? Oh, bloody he plays for PNG. Oh my God, that's going to kill me for the rest of the day because I played with him. He trained at Melbourne.
Yeah. Yeah, the robbed off him.
Yeah, that was bad. I was pacing the room watching that.
And there was a couple of, like, I know Jack de Bellin's been charged, but it was like, again, it was way after the event.
Yeah, we're still going back to that, aren't we?
Yeah. Poor old Val Holmes out as well.
That one was actually a bad one, though. That one was straight to the head.
Yeah. I think that up and in style, aggressive, shut down play, tackle.
Yeah. Well, it's tough because when the people are getting rid of the ball quick enough, they try.
Yeah. You sort of fade back.
You kind of feel this guy's coming at you 100 miles an hour, so you just try to fade back and you lean back and accidentally. I'm sure he's not going in there to hit you in the head, but accidents happen.
They do, but it sort of segues in to one of the top things that we're going to talk about, and that's rugby league legend, the king, Wally Lewis, who had an emotional interview with 60 Minutes on Sunday that came out. He's been diagnosed with probable CTE, which is obviously a degenerative brain issue. We've seen lots of that happen in America. The passing of Paul Green on autopsy confirmed that he had CTE. So, look, Wally was very clear with what he had to say, is that he wouldn't change anything. And I understand why he's saying that.
Yeah.
But you can't change anything now. What's done is done. For degenerative brain issues, you can't cease the decline. You can hit the accelerator. You can hit the brakes. Unfortunately, a lot of people hit the accelerator with these type of things. Yeah. Young people, young men especially, they're attracted to risk. That's why our game is played by some people that, if you put them into society, it's like you need to give them an avenue. Some of the players that play our game, they make bad choices off the field anyway. But imagine what those choices would be like without rugby league. But what the question sort of gets asked is what can the NRL, what can our sports governing body do? Have you got any sort of ideas or suggestions?
Well, I think they're trying to do the best they can with the independent HIA doctor and all that. I don't really have suggestions, just I guess support could be better. I think it's only you get like a 12-month after your career's done, you get 12 months once you retire of like insurance, and that helps look after like surgeries or whatnot that could affect you post. I think that could definitely be made bigger. I think that's something, I don't want to bring the RLPA. I think that's something that they're trying to fight for. So it's not just because a lot of those things, obviously, Wally retired almost a century ago. Some of those things come up, and
well, there's a big emphasis on pathways into the NRL, like where we look at like preparing teenagers, youngsters to be NRL players, both male and female. I don't think enough is done on the pathways out. Yeah, you can't expect for people to come out of the game and just be like, one day you're a player, the next day you're not, and it's like you've been so institutionalized and expect to live a normal life. And again, this is the line I always use with this is I don't want any sympathy for what I've done and the choices I made, but what I want is solutions. And I've been banging on about this for a long time, is that we need to set up an annual brain, body and mind checkup. So we've already been exposed to those collisions. That can't change, can't magically change that. But we can give players the resources and the education and advice on how to put the brakes on those degenerative brain issues. It's not a death. Playing rugby league is not a death sentence. Like we will die one day, but it doesn't need. It doesn't necessarily need to lead to that. And I think that education piece is vital. That connection to, because there's so many benefits to playing our sport as well. That actually, for a lot of people, it actually extends their lifespan and their health span. Without it, they go down different routes. So. That's one thing, and then another thing, mate, is the education to the players, because at the moment we don't have a diagnostic tool for concussion. So you can be involved in something, Cheese, and fundamentally it's my observation of whether I think you are concussed or not. But then fundamentally it comes down to an honesty test. And even when you recover from that, it's like, are you okay? Did you get a good night's sleep last night? How was your sleep? Do you have any sort of headaches? Can you remember these 5 words? And
I'm telling you, I'm good every time.
So the education piece to the players needs to be, guys, we recognise it's an honesty test at the moment, but here's why it's important that you are honest, because if you're not, then you've got to take responsibility for this.
And I think for me, it's obviously it's really hard to see these things happen to people, but like I'm on the same boat as you. Like I play this game because I love it, and I'd do nothing to change my life and how I'm going about it, and playing this game the way I play it. Like it's nothing's going to change. It's the risk involved in living out your dream, and I enjoy it. And if something's to happen, something's to happen, but I know I did it. And I did what I want to do.
And you're willing to pay that price.
Yeah,
and
I really am.
It makes you feel alive. I said this before. Perhaps the meaning of life is to find something worth dying for.
Exactly.
And could that be rugby league? I don't know. But for me, when I played, yes, I knew it was dangerous, but it made me feel alive. It appealed to my sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Give me a reason to be the best possible version of myself.
Yeah, most of my happiness in life has come out of this game, and that's tough. I don't have kids or a family or anything like that, but right now, I'm 27 years old. Everything that's pretty much given me the most joy in my life is because of rugby league, and if I was to redo it all over again, I'd do the exact same thing, same way.
And you know what, mate? People, and I've said this before, and people laugh a little bit about it, but I'm being genuinely serious. So that people talk about, participation with children, and we do need to look at that. But for any parent out there that has a child that is involved in the sport or considering being involved in the sport, and they take them away from that, that's fine. We've got the freedom of choice, but there are so many benefits to our game, just an incredible amount that aren't necessarily it's not all about making it towards the NRL. It's great for the individual, great for the community, great for society in general. But if you do remove your child, or you don't want to put your child into rugby league, whatever you do, if you're interested in all well-being markers, don't let them get into poetry. And that's the response you get. And people go, mate, you don't know what you're talking about. Look it up.
Yeah.
Look at well-being markers.
Yeah.
And the answer's there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem as it's not as instantaneous. It's not as it doesn't happen in the moment with poetry.
Well,
or
honestly,
poets rather.
Yeah, sports just gives. Well, all my life has just given me friends and people I know. If growing up on Waiheke, if you played rugby league, you're likely to hang out with my friendship group on Waiheke would age from 40 down to 16 right now. If I went back to Waiheke, I'd hang out with 40-year-olds that have played rugby league or I ball boyed for, and I'd still hang out with them to this day. And then I'd hang out with the 16-year-olds. So it just gave me this massive friendship group that you can't really get anywhere else.
Yeah, sport. It like most things in life, you pay a price for everything you do or you don't do. There's an element of risk to most things. Can we look to mitigate that risk a little bit more? Absolutely. But
before you get stuck into us about getting paid too much, remember we're literally putting our bodies on the line so you guys can spray us.
Well, one guy that was putting his body on the line was Cameron McInnes. NRL record, 81 tackles.
Yeah.
And didn't he look like the state of him at the end of that game? Blood everywhere.
Take the tooth.
His teeth were out.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. There's just that magic number. It's always been at 70. I think, who had the record beforehand? I think it used to be Michael Luck, but that was in a 90-minute game. It was 78 tackles. Because I remember watching that game, and they said he broke the record, but then he didn't have the actual record because it wasn't in an 80-minute time frame. But a tackle a minute doesn't sound that hard, to be honest, but it's bloody hard.
He still chipped in with plenty of carries as well. It's not like he was just, in behind the ball.
That's a fair indication on how the game's going, though. You must be in an absolute hurt clock if one of your players has to make 80 of the best.
One of my all-time favourite teammates, Cameron McInnes, I honestly love playing with him. He taught me so much as a youngster when I first got to the Dragons. I genuinely enjoyed his company, and what a guy. But
and you wouldn't be the first person I've heard say that about Cameron. So
he just rips in. He just has no regard for his body. I
won't be signing with the Sharks anytime soon with them and him and Dale training next to each other.
Oh mate, I reckon that'd be half of Fitzgibbon's training, keeping them apart. Anyway, it was sensational to watch. We're going to take a quick break from the podcast to tell you about AG1, the daily foundational nutritional drink with all your needs in the one place. I like to look after my health, and AG1 takes care of that for me. No more tablets, vitamin pills, all the health, nutrition I need, all in the one place. Every single morning, it's as easy. Open up the fridge, scoop of AG1 in a glass, cold water, stir it with a fork, drink it. It tastes great, and it helps me know. It gives me the peace of mind that all my nutritional needs are taken care of, all in the one drink. It really is as simple as that. And also, anybody that knows anything about health benefits knows that it comes with adding simple routines to your day. It's not about magic pills. They're not going to work. AG1 helps me be the best version of myself by having this new habit of every single morning having that drink. I know my nutritional bases are covered thanks to AG1. A lot of athletes are now taking AG1, and with 75 high quality ingredients, it's no wonder why. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/buy round. That's drinkag1.com/buy round. Check it out. Suaali'i was called the most overhyped player of this generation by Paul Crawley. What are your thoughts on that?
Bro, I hate Paul Crawley at the moment. Don't we? Yeah, I don't. Like, he's had a tough year, but to get stuck into someone like that is pretty uncalled for.
It's funny, like 12 months ago, like Suaali'i, he was like braining it as a, what was he then, 19? 19?
He just turned 20 today.
Yeah.
Happy
So
birthday.
He was like literally banging on the door of Origin. He's not had the best season by his own high standards, but like literally at 19. And we're looking at his pay packet, but he's earned that due to his reputation, what he's done, what he's shown the Roosters on the training field. Look, I think there's a genuine dislike for him off the basis that he's going to rugby union.
Yeah, so do I. It's hard because, like, I know he's going through a tough time. Like, he's not happy with his performances, and he works so hard off the field. Like, he is super professional. Like, years beyond like any other player I've seen at that age. Like, how committed he is to making himself better. But it just hasn't been the year of the Rooster right now, and unfortunately, he's a byproduct of that. I thought his Titans game, he was pretty much one of the reasons we went so well. Every one of his yardage carries were just super powerful and started the ruck off with good carries and yeah. Oh, fuck Paul
Crawley. I genuinely think this is just because he's going to rugby.
Yeah,
and look. I think it's a bit of a jab at rugby union, which I'm more than happy to see. But unfortunately, Suaalii he is caught in the middle of this, and he's the guy that's taking the blows. But I think it's rugby league's jab at rugby union, because the part of the article was saying, like, look, the Wallabies, they looked awful against the All Blacks, and is Joey gonna fix them? Well, one person isn't going to turn them around, but I think it's a bit of a league v union thing going on, but
yeah. Well, he's still a league player till the end of next year. So.
Do you reckon he will stay?
Yeah, the way he acts around training is, that's the thought I get. Just. I have no idea, to be honest. But I feel like he's committed.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed he stays in the game. Talking of people staying in the game, the Knights and Manly keeping their top 8 hopes alive. I thought the race was down to 9, but I think it's expanded, and Manly and the Knights have a genuine
5 games left.
5 games left. I think Manly will struggle just with their draw, but Newcastle have got a genuine opportunity, which is it's strange because their coach has been under public pressure. Talk of a indirect meeting with Des Hasler before he signed at the Titans, but all things considered, like with that going on in the background, like I think the Newcastle Knights have showed who they want coaching their team.
That you mean the players?
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I mean. So
I mean, it's tough.
Kalen
Ponga's been injured for how long?
He was out for a while, and I think it's.
And he's at fullback now.
It's convenient with the benefit of hindsight, but I think the move to 5'8" was the wrong one. But again, like maybe he needed to do that to answer that question. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Knights pay a price, but then or a short-term price at least. I think it's clear he's way more influential and better for the system as a whole. Yeah. At the back. But the Knights are making a red hot crack. Do you reckon they can?
They've got that little tie buffer, eh? They got that. They had a tie, didn't they?
Yeah, them and
Manly.
Them and Manly. I still reckon they'll need to win. I think 3 from 5. But there's a couple of teams on the like the Sharks are on the slide.
Para
on the slide.
They've got a tough draw coming up too. No Regan Campbell-Gillard for 4 weeks doesn't help.
No. Dylan Brown's back this week though.
Yeah. They missed him last week.
Yeah. Yeah, he's before that off-field incident, he was arguably the most informed or one of the informed players there with like Drinkwater, Moses as well. Yeah. A couple of others, but I think the 6 are done. The top 6. Yeah. They're nailed on.
What, the top 6 now? You reckon?
Yeah, I think they're all home.
The Sharks top 6?
No, they're not.
They're not.
Yeah, they're slipped. So, so we've got Penrith, Broncos, Warriors, Storm, Canberra, Souths, all locked. Yeah. And then you've got in the mix, Sharks, Cowboys, Knights, Manly, and Para.
Can't believe Cowboys lost. It's a funny old game, man.
Isn't it?
We lost the Cowboys by 20 and they lost to Gold Coast by... Yeah. It's a funny old game.
It's a strange old comp, isn't it? All right, Cheese. Now it's time for our favourite part of the show. This.
Fan feelings. Nothing more than feelings. How do you feel?
Yeah, big shout out to Tooheys. Also, the new extra die, the platinum. We told everyone how to get their hands on that. It's absolutely sensational as well. So make sure you do. All right, so before we get into the audio questions, I've got a question from a friend of mine, Greg Dillon, who loves Try July, loves the celebration. Obviously, it all goes to a great fund. He thinks we should be doing it every single month. What do you reckon, Cheese?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to do it every single month because then I might be able to actually get a try to celebrate. You just need the financial backing of something.
Yeah, that's it. If companies are willing to get on board.
Yeah.
Have you scored in July?
Oh, I have once, but I didn't celebrate.
Why?
I don't know. When I score a try, I'm not thinking about anything but getting up and going, yes. But to be fair, we practice so many celebrations. Me and Jared in our
what's your celebration?
Well, we're gonna do a bobsleigh one with all the forwards. And we practiced it all captain's run.
What would be your bobsleigh?
What?
What would be your bobsleigh?
No, you just like one will run over, jump, sit down. The other forward will run, jump, and sit down, and then the fourth one will run, like pretend to run, jump, sit down, and then you like shake it. And then
if you rip the post pad off, that would be amazing to do that. But
yeah, have you ever seen? I was searching up celebrations to do. Imagine if someone did Robbie Fowler's.
Oh, one of the all-time best. Robbie Fowler, one of the all-time greatest celebrations. That is.
No, he didn't just do it once; he did it multiple times.
Well, he was in the. There's a bit of a backstory to that because he was getting hammered in the press for. I reckon it's genius, absolute genius response.
I reckon I'm getting suspended for the rest of the year.
Yeah, yeah, you probably would. All right. Anyway, next question.
Hey guys, obviously the Storm have had a bit of an inconsistent 2023 with flashes of brilliance alongside times where they haven't really defended well. If they make the top 4 and their forward pack is fully fit, can they go all the way in 2023?
Does it sound like he's pulled over, jumped out of his car on the motorway to ask that question?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
All I can hear is cars flying
Yeah,
past.
there's been like a notification pop up. He's like, oh
no.
Actually, I'm going to have to get this question into Jam and Cheese quick. Yeah, good job for pulling over, though. He did. Don't record questions and drive. Well, the simple answer is yes, they can, because it's the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah.
It's mad that you say inconsistent. They're still sitting in the top 4. And their main man, or one of their main men, he hasn't played, and he's back. Is he back this week? Cheese.
Yeah, I heard reports that he's playing for the Sunshine Coast Falcons this week. So that's cool, man. But Meany's done an incredible job still. So it'd be interesting to see what happens, because it'd be a massive change in dynamic for the team if you throw him in. But I guess he's got to be in there somewhere. Maybe he might don the 14 jersey. He did that when I was playing with them, and he did a great job at that as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, when you think the way Jerome Hughes is playing, like, he was incredible on the weekend. Harry Grant, and obviously Cameron Munster.
Yeah.
And then you throw Pappenhausen in.
Yeah, it's scary.
Key position players. Like
13 months.
Is that how long he's been out for?
13 months. It's interesting to see how it goes. I wish him all the best. I hope it heals well. But yeah, my answer would be yes. You can never back Craig Bellamy's side out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's have another one.
G'day, legends. My question to you is on player movement and the importance of the top 30. Do you guys notice any players that could be playing lights out in their starting position, but can't quite make the 17? I often look at, say, someone like Josh Curran. He's a great player, but he's struggling to get into that Warriors side. Whereas if he was playing for a different squad, he'd definitely be starting. Are there any players that you see that would be great at other clubs?
It's a tough one to think about that. Josh Curran's probably
I don't think I've watched enough reserve grade.
No. Yeah, he probably makes a good point with Josh Curran. I think he goes.
I do. There's a player at that's playing for North Sydney Bears. Zach Docker-Clay. I don't know what his go was with. He's played in NRL before.
Yeah, he has played.
But like he trains with us at the time, and he's got a real good footy brain, like real smart. So he's not afraid to tell you some stuff he thinks he knows. But yeah, I've watched him play for the Bears, and he's absolutely killing it. So I reckon he could be handy in a few teams. The Dragons. He plays half, lock, hooker, any kind of thing. I reckon. Zach Docker-Clay, North Sydney Bears.
Well, producer Charlie told me that question was going to be players that are maybe playing off the bench as well. So that would start at other teams. So thanks for that, Charlie. I did all my research for players on the bench that get a start, and I was going to say Jason Tamalolo. Yeah,
he'd be handy in a few teams.
He'd be handy. It'd be handy. starting, wouldn't he? So thanks for that, Charlie.
That's all right, brother. Anytime.
No.
You can just do what you want as well. Though you could pick someone other than Jason Taumalolo.
I know I could, but he was the first person I saw off the bench, and the first person.
Cooper Johns. Cooper Johns. He stole his watch. That's what I was thinking.
It's a bit of a tricky one, that though, because obviously with a new team coming into the competition, the talent is a bit thin. There's no one that really jumps out. No doubt our listeners will bombard us with suggestions, but I reckon that just about wraps us up. Cheese, great to have you back.
I went to Gordon Tallis's birthday on the weekend. We had a little heart-to-heart. We're boys now.
Did you?
Yep. Well, I played for Central Tigers, grew up in Townsville, went to Gordon Tallis Cup every year. So we connected. I think we see eye to eye now.
Oh, that's good to hear.
He was having a great time, though.
Was he? He had the day off, which was disappointing.
Well, it was Matty Johns hosting the party. So
but you don't take the day off for your birthday. That's what Charlie White does for his 28th.
He actually had some funny words to say about you, Charlie. I won't say it on podcast.
I mean, taking your 50th off. Look,
it was funny because it was Trish Johns' birthday as well, and all the balloons and that said 50, but I know she's older than 50. She's like 54, I'm pretty sure. 53. She's 53.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that must have been for Gordy.
Yeah.
For his 50th, but I'm still not really keen on people taking days off for their birthday, but that we can continue that chat on for Triple M. But Charlie set the standard for taking his 28th birthday off. In fact, taking basically 4 or 5 days off for that, which was insane. There was actually a really good comment from someone on YouTube, basically saying that society is being ruined because people like Charlie take their birthday off. And I have
Triple M would have gone down if you had 5 days off.
Well, he did, and I have to agree with that comment. That is one of the main reasons why society is plummeting, because people like Charlie, men like Charlie, take their birthday off.
Boys like Charlie.
Boys, yeah. All right, that just about wraps us up. Cheese, great to have you back. Who's this week?
We have got Manly this week. So hopefully I come in this damn podcast room with a bloody win under me belt.
It will be good. You can maybe knock them out of finals contentions as well. Get one over Woodsy. Yeah. All right, take it easy, guys. Thanks for listening.